Hi everyone, today we're working on a quick 30-minute vinyasa. So start in a comfortable seat, whether you're on your sits bones or on your shins, and just take a moment to move your body however feels good, perhaps circling the neck or shrugging through the shoulders. And then take your time. When you feel ready, make your way onto all fours, tabletop, and then slide the hips back, coming into child's pose. Let your seat rest upon your heels, walk your fingertips forward so that your head and neck drop between your arms. Forehead can rest comfortably on the earth if that feels good. Take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose as you draw the breath deeply into your back body. Feel the sides of the body lengthen as you perhaps walk your fingertips a bit more forward. Keep drawing the hips back toward the heels, soften through the shoulders, and continue to breathe here for a few rounds of breath. As you maintain this stillness, just start to collect your thoughts. Release any of those thoughts that you don't need. As you invite your breath to deepen, find a bit more heaviness through the sits bones as you draw the hips back, melt the heart a little closer to your mat. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Good. Now begin to rock forward onto all fours, tabletop position, bringing the knees under the hips, the palms under the shoulders. Begin to draw in with the low core to stabilize, and then slowly begin to move the body right and left. Begin to roll the hips side to side, maybe circling through the neck and head, perhaps drawing the seat back toward the heels as you create big circular movements with your body. Add any little movements that feel good and authentic as you just begin to warm through your body. Keep moving in this authentic way for a few more rounds of breath, creating larger circles with your body until you feel ready to come straight into cat and cows. So as you take an inhalation, lift the gaze, drop the torso, and as you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, round through the upper back. Continue to move in this way for the next 4 to 5 breaths as you start to expand through your upper back, open through the chest, and find warmth through your spine. Let your breath facilitate your movements, just gently warming through the body. Take one more round, and with your next inhalation, begin to tuck under your toes, and as you exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Spread wide through your palms as you press each knuckle down into your mat, and begin to pedal out through your knees as you gently warm through your hamstrings. Keep your head hanging heavy as you gaze towards your navel, and feel free to keep as much bend in your knees as feels good for your body. Heels do not have to stay rooted on the earth, so find the variation of this posture that feels good for you today. Then softly make your way to stillness. Feel your body start to stabilize as you draw in with your core. Begin to find 3 rounds of squatted dog. As you inhale, deeply bend through the knees, draw the hips back, and as you exhale, straighten the legs, bring the tailbone toward the sky. Let your hamstrings find length, soften through your breath. As you find your next inhalation, shift to your tiptoes, and as you exhale, make your way to the top, forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, release. Find this twice more. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulders draw away from the ears. Exhale, release, forehead to knees. One last time, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, release. This time, inhale, lift halfway, hold, find a gentle bend in your knees, and extend your arms out to a T. Start to reach around for your elbows or for your hands as you take a gentle bind. Keep the knees bent, and as you exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing forehead toward the knees. Let the arm bones lift up and overhead as you tilt the weight forward into your toes. Keep the neck long as you breathe deeply here for a few more rounds of breath. As you take your next inhale, bend your knees, release the hands up and overhead, Utkatasana, chair pose. Keep the hips drawing back, and then take your hands to your heart center. As you inhale, lift all the way up, and as you exhale, reach back, gentle back bend, soften through the shoulders. Inhale, stand up, and as you exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale, shoulders are soft, and as you exhale, hands down, step, hop, or float, high plank pose. As you exhale, lower half or all the way. As you inhale, up dog or cobra, draw the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and out through the nose. And as you find your next inhalation, lift to your tiptoes, bend the knees, and as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your chair pose, bend the knees, sweep the arms toward the sky. As you inhale, stand all the way up, and as you exhale, reach back into a back bend. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhalation, shoulders are soft. Exhale, hands down, high plank pose. When you feel ready, lower half or all the way. Inhale, lift the chest, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale to the tiptoes, exhale to the top, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, breathe out, fold. One more time, inhale, chair pose, sink the seat, reach the hands high. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, reach back into your bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. One more round. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, high plank. Take your time, lower half or all the way. Hug elbows to the sides. Inhale, lift the heart, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and out through the nose. And as you inhale, shift to your toes, and as you exhale, forward fold. Take your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Come up into your chair pose on the breath in, and this time as you exhale, sweep the arms out to that T shape as you reach around for your bind. Take elbows or fingers. As you exhale, tilt forward and fold as you let the arm bones lift up and overhead. Forehead draws toward the knees. Weight shifts in toward the toes. As you inhale, bend the knees, reach forward, chair pose. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, reach back into your back bend. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, forward fold, release. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, high plank. Stay for the vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog, you choose. Back bend of choice, meeting in downward facing dog. A full breath in and out through your nose. And as you take your next inhalation, right leg floats high. Exhale, bring the right foot between the hands. Left knee down, fingers up and overhead, Anjaneyasana. Big breath in. Hands down to the mat, breath out. Step back, high plank, optional vinyasa, or tilt the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. When you make it to your dog, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, foot between palms. Right knee down, fingers up and overhead, low lunge, Anjane, breath in. Hands to the mat, breath out. Step back, high plank, optional vinyasa, lower half or all the way. Lift the heart, inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and out through the nose. And as you inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, bring the foot between the palms. Inhale, warrior two, back heel spins down, fingertips float away from one another. Bend deeply into the right knee as you press it out toward the right, shoulders remain soft. Inhale to flip the front palm, and as you exhale, reverse your warrior. As you take an inhale, start to straighten your right leg and turn your gaze towards your left heel as you stretch through your right side body. Take a full breath in and out through your nose. Inhale, come forward as you rebend the front knee, extended side angle, placing that right forearm to the top of the leg or reaching the hand down to earth or block. As you inhale, bring your left hand down to your mat, spin your left heel up, and reach your right hand to the sky, simple twist. As you exhale, bring your right hand to the instep of your right foot, coming down into a lizard lunge. Left knee will drop down to the mat as you pivot your left foot over to the right. Press your right hand into your mat as you start to lift your left hand toward the sky, option to stay, or bring your left hand into your right hip pocket for a half bind. If you'd like to continue, you can come into a full bind, or just simply bring that left hand back toward the sky. Reach with the left hand toward the front of the room, and as you exhale, drop the left hand down to your mat, reset your back leg to neutral, and take a big step forward into a standing split, lifting the left heel toward the sky. The forehead towards your right knee, and as you inhale, step into chair pose. Reach the fingertips high to the sky. As you inhale, stand all the way up, and as you exhale, lean back into your back bend. Inhale, stand tall, and as you exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhalation, and when you're ready, hands down, high plank, optional vinyasa, or simply take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take your time as you make your way into that downward facing dog shape. And when you get there, take a couple breaths here in stillness. As you inhale, left leg floats high. Exhale, bring the foot between the palms, rise into warrior two. Bending deeply through the front knee as you press the knee off toward the left. Flip through the front palm, and as you exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back. Left knee stays bent for a moment. And as you find your next breath in, straighten the left leg, turn your gaze towards your right heel, lengthen the left side body. Begin to bend the front knee, come forward, extended side angle, placing the left forearm on the top of the leg or reaching the left arm toward the earth. As you take an exhale, bring your right hand down to your mat, spin your right heel up, and then lift the left hand high to the sky. Simple twist. Begin to bring the left hand down to the instep of your front foot, releasing the right knee down to your mat. Pivot the right foot over to the left, keeping the left hand where it is, reach the right hand high to the sky. You can stay or take a half bind, reaching that right arm toward the left hip pocket, or you can stay as you are. Always an option to continue to the full bind. Start to reach that right hand toward the front of the room, and then drop the right hand down to your mat. Reset the right leg. Pick up through the back knee and then step forward, standing splits, right heel presses toward the sky, forehead draws toward the left knee. As you inhale, step the feet together, come into chair pose, Utkatasana, hips low, fingers reach high toward the sky. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, stand all the way up, and as you exhale, reach back into your back bend. Inhale, stand up, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, and as you're ready, step back, high plank, optional vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Take your time as you move through those shapes, making your way into your downward facing. Take a few breaths here in your dog, find your stabilization, and when you find your next breath in, begin to float the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring the foot between the palms, open into warrior two. Find that strength in the core, strength in the legs. Flip through the front palm and begin to reverse your warrior, tipping it up and back. First warrior, begin to straighten your right leg. Bring your left hand into your right hip pocket for a half bind and turn your right toes to face the left. As you exhale, take your right hand and reach towards your left leg, whether you take your shin, your ankle, or perhaps your foot. You can always keep the left hand tucked into the right hip pocket or reach the left hand toward the sky for a full twist. Try to keep your hips as level as possible as you turn your torso to increase the twist. Now, keeping your right hand where it is, reach your left hand across your body to your right leg, creating a pretzel shape with your body. Tuck your chin to your chest, round through your upper back, taking a full breath in and out through the nose. Keeping your left hand where it is, reach your right hand toward the ceiling, coming into that twist, either staying or taking your right hand to your left hip pocket. Rotate the torso and then once more come back into that pretzel shape, sweeping the right hand across the body, reaching for the left leg. Tuck the chin to the chest, round the upper back. As you inhale, bring your arms out to a T shape, keeping your torso even with your hips. Turn your palms toward the ceiling and reach back, find a bind, grabbing elbows or fingers as you draw your chest forward and then hinge at the hip crease to fold. You can either stay with the bind or release if that's a bit too much on the shoulders, but try to lengthen through the neck and tilt forward to bring your chest between your legs. As you find your next inhalation, expand the arms back into an airplane shape, and as you exhale, back of the mat, Skandasana, left knee bends, right leg straightens. Hands can stay at the heart, or you can reach left hand to the earth, right hand to sky. Bring the hands back to the heart, and then come through center, other side, Skandasana, right knee bends, left leg straightens. Choose your arm variation that serves you best. As you take your next inhalation, come back through center, release into your wide-legged forward fold. Hands can stay under the shoulders, or you might walk your fingertips back towards your heels, but bring the weight forward into your toes. Imagine your chest drawing between your legs. And with your next breath in, bring the hands under the shoulders, lift halfway. Start to turn your right toes toward the front of the room, option to bend at the knee or keep the legs straight. Take the right hand to the instep of your right foot or come onto your right shin, coming into triangle pose as you reach the left arm high to the sky. Think length through the right side body as you tuck the right hip under, draw the left hip back. You can always use a block or walk your hand higher up on your leg for a little bit more lift. Begin to rebend the right knee, come into warrior two, breathe in, and as you breathe out, reverse your warrior. Exhale, start to bring the hands to frame the front foot. Spin the back heel up, left hand to earth, right hand to sky, simple twist. Making your way into side plank, left hand is the base, step the right leg back. Lift through the hips, keep the chest wide, stay strong through the left hand, perhaps reaching that top arm up and overhead. Drop the right hand down, plank pose, option for vinyasa, or make your way into downward facing dog. Taking your time, lifting the hips up and back. Full breath in and out when you arrive. With your next inhalation, float the left leg high to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the left foot between the palms, open into warrior two. Find your steadiness first. When you're ready, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, send it up and back. Keep strong through the left leg and then begin to straighten left leg, tucking the right hand to the left hip pocket. Begin to gaze towards your back heel, turn your left toes to the right. Take the left hand, reach toward the right leg, coming into that twist. Option to keep the right hand tucked or reach the right hand toward the sky. Hips stay level as you turn the torso. As you feel ready, sweeping that right hand across the body, grabbing onto the left leg. Making that pretzel shape, tuck the chin toward the chest, round through the upper back. Keeping the right hand on the left leg, begin to sweep the left hand toward the sky, coming into that twist. Option to stay or take the half bind by bringing the left hand into the right hip pocket. Hips stay level, turn the torso, find that twist. When you're ready, one last time, pretzel shape, sweeping the left hand back across the body, tuck the chin toward the chest, round the upper back. As you inhale, arms out to a T shape. And then reach around behind the back for your bind. Take elbows or fingers. Chest draws forward, and as you exhale, start to hinge at the hip crease, fold forward. Always the option to keep the bind or let it go if it no longer serves you. Tilting just a little bit more forward. Good. With your next inhalation, expand the arms out into that T shape, keeping torso level with the hips. And as you exhale, bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, skandasana, your variation, whether you expand the arms or not. Open through your chest. Inhale, take yourself through center. Exhale to the other side, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, skandasana, variation of your choosing. Open through the chest. Inhale, come into your wide fold, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold, any variation you like. Take a few breaths here as you lengthen through your spine, perhaps adding any movement that feels good, letting the hips draw from side to side or bending at the knees. Just making a little bit more space in your hamstrings, continuing to lengthen through the neck. One more breath in and out through the nose, and then hands under shoulders, halfway lift. Begin to turn the left toes toward the front of the room, option to bend at the knee or not. Left hand to the instep of the left foot as you reach that right arm high to the sky, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Again, you can always walk the hand up the leg or use a block for a little more elevation as you lengthen through the left side body. Open through the chest. One more breath in and out. And then re-bend the left knee, warrior two, inhale. Exhale to reverse. Cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. Spin the right heel up as you reach the left hand to the sky, simple twist. Right hand is your base for side plank, stepping that left foot back to meet the right. Lift through the hips, any variation. Stay or reach the left arm up and overhead, making a little rainbow shape with the body. As you find your next exhalation, drop the left hand down to the mat, plank pose, optional vinyasa or hips to sky as you make your way into downward facing dog. When you make it to that shape, take a full breath in, a full breath out. Find your strength, and when you feel ready, float that right leg high to the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot between the palms, warrior two, rise up. Begin to flip through the front palm, and as you exhale, reverse the warrior, send it up and back one more time. Straighten through the right leg, look toward the left heel, make length through your right side body, and then prepare for half moon pose. When you're ready, rebend the right knee, reach the right hand forward in front of your toes, either onto earth or block. Left hand to left hip as you stack open through the hips. First, rotate the chest, draw the left shoulder up and back. Option to float the left hand toward the sky, or take the left hand, reach for your left foot, Shavasana, sugarcane pose. Keep the hips opening, revolve through the chest. Stay steady through the right standing foot. Release your left foot from your left hand if you have it. Step back gently into warrior two, breathe in. Reverse your warrior on your breath out. Hands come down, cartwheel, framing the front foot. Reaching that right hand to the sky, simple twist as you release the left knee down. You can either stay with the right hand reaching straight toward the sky, or you can reach the right hand toward your back foot, coming into a twist. Try to draw the right shoulder back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, leaning back into a slight back bend as you open through your chest. Keep strong through the left hand. As you exhale, bring the hands back to the instep of that right foot, coming into lizard lunge, your variation, whether you choose to keep the left knee grounded or lift away. You choose which variation serves your body best, but draw your shoulders away from your ears and imagine your chest drawing toward the earth. Whatever variation you find yourself in, take another 4 to 6 rounds of breath and try to soften through the areas that feel tight. Energetically drawing the right hip back, making space through the front of your body. Let your breath start to deepen as you settle into this shape. Take another 2 to 3 breaths here. Then gently begin to straighten the right leg, coming into half splits. Hands can either stay under the shoulders, or you can walk both hands to the outside of your right leg. Pull the right hip back and then slightly down. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Option to slightly bend through the elbows, bring the torso a bit closer to that right leg. If you're twisted, reframe that front foot, come back into lizard lunge. Hands to the instep, and then step into three-legged dog. Take your right leg up and back, option to stay or step it behind you, wild thing. Open through your chest if you're in this back bend, and when you're ready, right hand comes back to the earth, either downward facing dog or take a vinyasa in between as we make our way up and back, downward facing dog. Full breath cycle here in this dog, and when you're ready, left leg to sky, bring the left foot between the hands, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, send it up and back. Straighten the left leg, gaze towards your right heel. Prepare for half moon pose, rebend the front knee, reach the left hand forward onto earth or block. Take your time as you float the right leg away from the earth, rotating the hips open. Reaching up and away with that top arm, option to stay, or take the right hand to your right foot, coming into Shavasana, sugarcane pose. Stay steady through your left standing foot. Release your foot from your hand if you have it, and then with control, step back, warrior two, breath in. Reverse your warrior, breath out. Hands cartwheel to frame the front foot, simple twist, spin the back heel up, left hand high to the sky. Right knee drops down. You can either stay here or reach back for that foot, coming into a twist. Draw the left shoulder back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, expand through the front of the body. Stay strong through that right hand, and as you take your next exhalation, release your left hand back to the instep of your front foot, coming into lizard variation of your choosing. Again, you can keep that right knee grounded, or you can lift it away from the mat, you choose. But wherever you are, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Imagine your chest drawing toward the mat, and see if you can energetically draw the left hip back. Make space for yourself here. Take another 3 to 4 breath cycles here in your lizard variation, but try to soften through the shoulders, drawing the left hip back just slightly. Notice where you feel sensation, and see if you can release the areas that feel tight or constricted here as you let your breath deepen. Take another few rounds of breath here. And take your time. When you feel ready, rock the hips back, half splits, taking the hands under the shoulders. Stay or walk the hands to the outside of that left leg, drawing the left hip back and then down. Soften through the shoulders, option to bend at the elbows, draw the torso a little bit closer toward the leg. When you feel ready, unwind your twist, re-bend through the left knee, hands to the instep lizard lunge. Pick up through the back knee and step that left foot up and back into a 3-legged dog, option to stay or step it behind you, coming into wild thing, opening the chest if you're in the back bend. When you're ready, left hand down to the mat, coming into plank, optional vinyasa if you want it, or make your way downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in this shape, and when you feel ready, lower down to your knees, coming into a child's pose. Option to keep the knees together or let the knees come out wide. Arms can either reach in front of you, or you can reach your arms alongside the body as you rest your forehead gently on your mat. Sits bones draw towards your heels as you give yourself a moment here to just recenter, to let your breath slow down, and just to observe how you feel in this shape. Take another 2 or 3 rounds of breath here as you settle in, releasing any tension, anything you're holding within yourself. Then slowly begin to come into a kneeling position, coming onto the shins. Take a moment to find a tall spine, roll out through your shoulders, perhaps circle through the neck and the head. Find whatever feels good here. Then coming back to stillness, place your right hand alongside your right hip as you sweep the left arm up and overhead. Then bring your left hand to meet your right knee, and then sweep your right arm up and over as you come into a gentle twisted side bend. Start to take your right hand to meet your left knee, make that pretzel shape, tuck the chin to the chest. Round through the upper back. Right hand will stay where it is. Sweep that left arm up and open so you find that nice twist in your bend. Then take your left hand down beside your left hip, reach your right arm up and overhead, find your stretch, length in the right side body. As you inhale, take both hands high to the sky, and as you exhale, arms out to a T. Begin to reach behind the back, grab elbows, or interlace your fingers for a bind. Option to stay upright or start to come forward onto the crown of the head, coming into a bound rabbit's pose. Lifting the seat away from the heels, resting very little weight on the crown of your head as you lift your hips up. Let your arm bones lift up and overhead. Take a few breaths here. And as you inhale, come up, release the hands high to the sky. Exhale the hands to the heart center. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders, and give yourself a moment here just to pause and be still. To notice any subtle shifts in your energy, to notice your physical body, and begin to focus on your breath as you come into this seated meditation. Hands can stay gathered at your heart center, or you can choose to release your hands somewhere into your lap. But keep the eyes soft, keep the breath nice and smooth as you allow yourself to be here in the silence. If you find yourself drifting away into thoughts, see if you can redirect your focus back onto your breath. And just enjoy this time of silence, this time to be still and to connect with yourself on a deeper level. Stay here for at least another 5 rounds of breath. But you're more than welcome to extend the meditation for as long as feels right for yourself. Keep coming back to your breath. Stay anchored here. Breath is full. And whenever you feel ready, take your time to navigate your way onto your back. Letting your knees point toward the sky, just gently bringing them from left to right, releasing through the hips. The next time the knees fall over to the right, let them stay as you take a supine twist of your choosing. Any variation for your legs, any variation of arms. As you soften your eyes and settle in, take a few rounds of breath on this side. Keeping the shoulders nice and rooted, feel your chest start to expand. Your breath becomes a bit longer, a bit deeper, as your low back begins to release. Stay here as long as you'd like. And whenever you feel ready, slowly letting the knees come through center. And allowing the knees to drop off to the left. As you take your supine twist to the other side, any variation you choose. Shoulders stay rooted as your chest opens just a bit more. Notice if this side feels a bit different than the first as you soften your eyes and really release into this shape. Take another 3 to 5 rounds of breath here on this side, or choose to stay longer if that serves you best. Release any tension that isn't needed as you soften through your body, your mind, and your breath. And take your time as you bring the knees back through center. Final movements here, drawing the knees in toward the chest. You can always stay. If you'd like to take happy baby pose, grab onto the outside edges of your feet. Draw the knees toward the underarms. You can be still or find movement. If you're finding shoulder stand or plow or any final movements that feel good for your body, please take as long as you need. Enjoy the movements that you've chosen. Enjoy the space that you've created. And whenever that time comes when it feels natural to release the final posture, come down into Shavasana, corpse pose. Legs can be long or knees can stay bent. Arms can be alongside the body or lift up and overhead, you choose. Find a full nourishing breath in through your nose. A nice releasing exhale through your mouth as you settle in here. Soften through all corners of the body. Feel your hips root down into your mat. Soften the eyes. And choose to stay in this resting shape for as long as you need. Let the silence and the stillness draw over you. And let this feel easy as you release all effort. Stay for at least another 5 full breaths. Honor this time of stillness. Whenever it feels most natural, take a nice nourishing breath in through your nose. A nice big release through the mouth. Move through the fingers and the toes, the ankles and the wrists. As you start to reawaken your physical body. Arms reach up and overhead. Knees draw in toward the chest as you roll over to your right side, fetal shape. Pausing in this shape as long as you'd like before making your way gently towards your seat. Allow your eyes to remain soft as you cross at the ankles. Roll out through the shoulders, finding a nice tall spine. Take the hands to the heart center as you honor your practice and yourself, bowing your chin to your chest. Allowing your thumbs to come up to meet your third eye as you honor yourself and your practice, bowing together in gratitude. Namaste. And as always, thank you so much for practicing with me today.